everybody, and welcome to another episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Ledesma. Welcome to today's show. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about things that are happening outside, like regular news today, because there's like a lot of things that they're finding up in the sky lately, right? And we all know about that. But first, just everybody, if you can, I know you can probably listen to us on an audio podcast on 26, 27 platforms, including Alexa. You know, you can ask her, she'll play Alien Strand for you, okay? And we're going to have Terry Linch on today, but he went missing in action today for some reason, but I gave him a link, so he might just pop in, you know. Let's just hope he does and give us a thumbs up on that. Now, if you guys want to leave a message or comments, I can read those as they scroll through, okay? So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about volcanoes a little bit and about the Cascadia Guides, right? Because as a lot of you guys know and have seen the film, by now, our film, The Middle, you know, there's a lot of questions out there. People are asking, you know, is that real, or how long has it been there? And you know, we've been breaking it down ever since Terry Linch found that, those geoglyphs up there on top of that mountain, right? So, and you know, it's a lot of people just are trying to understand it. So what we did in The Middle, in the documentary, is that we introduced the geoglyphs to you guys, and that's what we did. We introduced it because we want you to see something that's never been seen before, right? And it's just, you know, we're hoping that people would accept it and you know just embrace it, and as we go with it, because if you watch the whole Middle, we weren't able to break it down completely 100% because there's only so much time we could put in a film, right? And we're just trying to get all the information as we could on the Cascadia Guides, of course, but on other people's stories, right? And that's what we were trying to do. So, you know, I was talking to Shauna Gilmer here earlier, a little while ago, and we were talking about the Chinese balloon that they started seeing up there over, Montana first. And, you know, it's just starting to cruise all the way across. So this is a statement that they're saying from the Pentagon. They released it, right? It says, the United States government has detected been tracking a high altitude surveillance balloon that is over the continental United States right now, okay? The U.S. government, includes NORAD, continues to track and monitor it closely. The balloon is traveling at an altitude well above air traffic, okay? So none of our airplanes are going to hit it because it's way up there, right? And they're monitoring it closely. So, you know, it's not getting in the way of anything like that, but they're just saying that they've been observing it for a while now, and they just kind of reacted on it right away, but they know that they're trying to collect sensitive information on it. So believe me, they'll figure it out when they do find out what this blue, what they want, right? So we'll end up getting that going. But you know, like I said, I was just talking about the Cascadia Guides, right? So if you haven't seen our documentary, here's where you can find it. You can find it like now. It's on Amazon Prime, okay? So and it states a bunch of countries outside of the United States. Now, a lot of these countries are on that list, especially Australia. We've been trying to get it up there, and they can't get it, you know, or even in New Zealand, sometimes they're trying to get it. But if you can't get it, here's where you can find it. You can find it on ledsfilms.com. Check it out there. You can check out the film right there. I see you. So, yeah, you can check it out there. Hey, guess what? We got Mr. Terry Linch. Yes. So, but if, like, for the people outside the United States that cannot see the film, here's where you can see it. It's a couple of bucks more, not much more. Check out the film right there, or see it on Amazon Prime. Now, you know, we've been talking about this for a while now, and This our documentary has been getting a lot of recognition for what it deserves, I believe, because, you know, Mr. Terry Linch is the one that you know found this, you know, and we're trying to get people to watch this brand new find that nobody's ever seen before. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to get Mr. Terry Linch right now, so that way you guys can just check them out and see what we're talking about here. All right, here we go.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, pretty good. I know I was trying to contact you earlier, but I think you're asleep or something. So,
yeah. We had some stuff going on here.
I get it. So, what we're going to talk about today was, I was mentioning about the Cascadia Guides, right? And how people were kind of like trying to figure out what they were and if they were real or not. And how do we know that they weren't put there, by somebody, before that time. So kind of tell us, what do you think about that? What these people are saying?
For me on this is I've set up cameras, I've set up Nikons and everything from the base down below the mountain, just below them, and I've got video footage of craft coming out of the skyline. And what happens is I have video footage. It's in the documentary. Video footage of the craft turning upright, up on end, directly over the top of the guides, and it lights up. And that signifies that they know that they are right where they're located. They're at the guides, and this is a turning point for them. That's why I call them the guides. I wanted to convey to people that this is like a street sign to them. They know exactly where they're at the second they go over the top of these things, and they signify it.
Yeah, exactly.
They let you know that they're there.
Yeah, that's for sure. Because the videos on there of, you could see the craft go over it, and then it just flips this way, shoots out a light at it, and then it goes back and it takes off the other direction.
Takes off, and it's heading straight towards Mount Shasta.
Exactly.
The two of them are heading straight towards Mount Shasta, and it's this location where we're at. We have craft going over during certain times of year. You can sit here and you can watch these things drift right over the top of us, slow.
Right.
Nice and easy and slow. However, 90% of the craft going over the top of us, they're moving at full speed, and we're talking 22 miles a second. That's pretty damn fast. But right. they are going over the top of this, and I've had footage that I've had Annibal. I've had him look some of this stuff over, and this stuff is stationary directly in front of the mountain on the face. So right. you've got not only me, but you've got Annibal, and you've got my friend Chris, who's slowing this stuff down. He's putting his filtration to it, and he's definitely verifying the things that we've all been seeing on the face of this mountain and going over the top of this mountain.
And what I wanted to link to it was, remember, was it last week or the week before, we talked about this volcano here, Popocatépetl volcano
down in Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico. Okay, so it pretty much the way this craft is like straight up over this this volcano. When we talked about it last week. Or 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, is that it pretty much it mimics what's happening over there in Oregon, correct? Like on top of Paulina?
Absolutely. What these volcanoes are is every one of these volcanoes from one end of the planet to the other is a hive. This is how they're getting in and out of the earth. They're using a volcano. Usually that's a good entry, and fault lines are also good entries. But they're going in and out of this planet, and they're using these volcanoes as the entry, and you can see it time and time over again. Doesn't matter what country. Currently, Mexico has the most volcanoes that you can actually count these things going in and out of. I am planning on changing that number, because I'm pretty sure that the more time that me and my team starts to spend looking up at these and start putting more dedicated equipment towards it, we're going to probably start seeing the same numbers. Mount Shasta, Mount Adams, and now Paulina Peak, they're all tied together. And if you look at this straight line all the way from Mount Shasta to Mount Adams, and it is a straight line all the way there, you can see it straight there from Mount Hood. I think there was somebody saying it stopped at Mount Hood, but no, it goes all the way to Mount Adams.
Right.
And when you get up to Mount Adams, all of these locations have had extraterrestrial sightings all the way around them for years. And I'm
Right.
talking about all the way to just months ago. There's always somebody reporting something somewhere along the Cascadia Passage, is what I call it, all the way to from Mount Shasta to Mount Adams, and directly in the middle would be Paulina Peak. Now, as far as all of these things going in, you'll start seeing on these volcanoes, you'll start seeing them going inside the volcano, and a large majority of the time you'll see them drop something in the volcano, and sometimes when they drop it, you'll see the volcano erupt.
Yeah, they have an actual on YouTube. There's a live feed pointing to this volcano, so people can actually go on YouTube and see the live feed, and you can watch it all day, like the satellite, like our NASA satellite up. It's just a natural feed that they have on there. This is where people are starting to notice that there's crafts around this particular volcano. Now, I got a little bit of history on this one. Now, this one is about 17,800 feet up in the air, this mountain right here, and it's a live volcano. It's the second largest volcano there in Mexico. There's another one that's 18,300 feet, I believe, is the biggest one they have there in Mexico. So there's a lot of activity coming from here, and the person that actually took this photo was there was a woman. Her name was her name was Carla Garcia, right? She's the one that got the credit for this photo, but actually, the photo was taken by her boyfriend, Luis Guerra. That was his name. And they just barely got into photography. So they started taking pictures of the volcano in the morning. And he took this photo right before that little blast happened. And then
it was a perfect capture.
Yeah, man, it was just, the timing was just so perfect for him to grab that. And the only reason I bring this up again was because that this volcano here, it's kind of similar to me, the way the way that it sort of has like the mass wasting that you talk about, the way it turns to sand on the outside, and you have this really fine granules of a different color, and that's the way Paulina Peak looks like when we were up there. I mean, I remember that. So.
Right.
And I was just kind of thinking, well, this is pretty darn close to, what, you've been chasing after when we went up there,
Right. Not to mention, we've also been having other experts look at the work up there, and we're starting to see that there's lines that are underneath that sand. This is just barely the beginning of this structure's findings. We are just barely even touching the surface here. Right. As we move along, we're going to bring more experts involved, more experts into this, and we're going to find out exactly how big this structure really is on top. I mean, it until you uncover the pyramid, you don't know what's really there. Exactly. There's always these big hills that are out there that are overgrown, and that could be very simply what's going on here. Is that directly underneath this thing? This might be a marker for an ancient city. This could be a marker for all kinds of things. I mean, this thing's been covered up for thousands of years. So exactly. the fact that we're getting this little glimpse of it, and we're finding more things. I promise the public there are more things up there. We guarantee that. We found some new. Mr. Ledesma. But Mr. Ledesma has made his own finding on this mountain himself, and I find that very wonderful. Nice. So, if he wants to tell you about it, I'll let him tell you, because it is his finding.
Right, exactly. So I'm not going to show what it is, but close to the Cascadia Guides, there is, and these are the guides right here. So. This is what Terry found up there on top of the side of the mountain on Paulina Peak. Now, when I decided to kind of scan the area again, and this was about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and then
it's been a few weeks now.
Yeah, and then I saw something that we didn't see, and if inside in the movie you can hear when we find that sphere on the ground and we start talking about it, that what do you call that, Terry? The circle
I
of
was
the
I was dumbfounded when we walked up on that sphere. It was the first time I'd
yeah.
seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was great. It was great, but and then you turn around and say, you know what? If there's something here, there's got to be something on the other side.
yeah, I
So,
did. I did say there's got to be something over there.
so my little gerbil was running in my head, and after this whole year has passed, and after the movie was out already, I just decided to look again, and lo and behold, we found something else.
Yes, we did.
And it's kind of strange, but it was there that when we were. I went back on Google and we were able to know that it was there when we were there. So
Yeah.
we know that somebody didn't put it in after. And the reason we're talking about the Cascadia Guides is because these are the guides right here, and they're huge. They're 38 feet tall and
They're
in width.
massive.
Yeah, they're massive. They're huge. And this is what you're going to see on the film. I decided to throw it out there today because we figure, we've already had 3.5 weeks of the movie being out. I'm sure
Right.
a few people have seen it. So, we wanted to talk about this a little bit and just kind of tell you guys that we're not full of crap. This thing is real. And we want to make sure that you guys understand out there in listener world and visual world that we're all watching right now, that this is a sacred site. And
It very much is. It's in a national park as well.
it's right, and it's very protected, and it's protected. You might be able to close up on it, but please do not touch it and do not do anything with it. You fly your drone over it, but do not touch this because it's very sacred, and we want to make sure that the integrity of it stays together as it was found.
I would also like to let everybody know that even the Northern Paiute, Chief Palina, and all of the tribes that were there, they would have never known about this. This predates them by thousands of years.
Right.
This is a very, very long. If you look at the skulls on these things, the closest you're going to come is probably Mayan or maybe even Incan down in Machu Picchu, which I got to tell you, from this location, you have about the same kind of view you would have in Peru's Machu Picchu. It's you're at the top of the mountain and you're looking out completely around, seeing nothing but volcanoes out around you in a big vast forest underneath you.
Right.
That's the type of location this is, and it just happens to be sitting inside of a national park.
Yeah, and you and
I'm grateful for that.
Yes, and you and I and Kev Andrews from UK were talking about this. I believe I was talking with him maybe a day before, and he says the way they are positioned and the way that they are structured almost looks Egyptian. You know how you see a lot of Egyptian hieroglyphs and paintings, how they're positioned? He says it's almost within, it's like almost the same, but almost like the Anunnaki. They have kind of the same kind of structure, the way the
correct. That's another thing. The Anunnaki, I'm glad you brought them up. Is I'm really, really good at looking at satellite imagery, and I see things just a little bit different than most people when it comes to satellite imagery. And I keep finding things that are marks of the Anunnaki all over the country.
Right.
Not just here in Oregon, but here in Oregon, this right here, we have another geoglyph here that's miles in size, just south of us. And the natives had painted the entire thing on a wall right beside it. And this is just southeast of us, it's called the Antelope Refuge, Heart Mountain Antelope Refuge, just southeast of us here. So that'll be another day. That'll be another day with a drone.
Well, we put that on we did put that on the film. What you just talked about right now, the animal it is on the film. But this is what we're talking about. Okay, so we got with Mr. Kev Andrews, and we had a podcast with him last week about Mars and how he was breaking down a lot of images. Now, this is his work right here. This is what he found right here. So
structure.
There's structure underneath these guides. It's kind of hard to tell if you don't know what you're looking at, but if you've been looking at analyzations like this for a while, you can pretty much tell that there's some kind of structures around this this geoglyph around the Cascadia Guides. You can see it on the top right, right next to the female's head. It looks like it looks like a circle of some sort. It's just what
I had noticed in other stuff that we've been doing with this right here that there's a certain cutoff point where all of this is too. So you can tell,
right?
You know, it's really defined when you're looking at it through all the things we've been looking at recently.
Right. So, so this is a kind of closer drone shot of what it is. What he was able to show us what he found through the way he uses his analyzations on his new and his software that he's got there. So this is yes, this is an actual zoomed out photo of the Cascadia Guides. You can see the Cascadia Guides right in the dead center. This is Terry's photo, and you can see that there's almost like something around this, around the guides, or in the dead center, like there's openings there. And we were just trying to figure out, you know, how is it that you're seeing these things? Is this what you see?
I can see all kinds of neat stuff there, even the things you're not wanting to show.
Oh, I know. Me too. I see it. But you know, it's just a great way of seeing these geoglyphs or anything on Earth or in the sky. Now here's one of his breakdowns too. Mr. Kev Andrews, he has the geoglyphs. Look at the area around the head. There's just a little section there on the larger photo.
Circle.
Yeah, that whole circle there. That there's something underneath that.
Okay, for me, I have a theory on that one.
Okay, let's hear it.
That circle right there. I'm always boasting that the craft are going in and out of the mountain. I am not 100% certain, but I am going to go back up to this location. I'm going to be spending the night at this location with my team, and I'm going to put night vision on that spot, and I'm going to watch and see if anything comes in or out of that hole right there. I plan on putting my Nikons on it, and I plan on putting this Luna that I keep saying that Mr. Annabelle Quiones give me. I plan on going up there and watching this location very carefully for a while and see if this is what is going on. I'm not exactly sure, but I from some of the footage, one of our investigators has looked and said that they see things kind of watching us from the trees.
Yes.
I'm going to bring my infrared, my night vision, and I'm going to see what's watching me from the trees. I want to go up there with my Nikon, where I can super zoom straight in on anything that might be moving up there. And I'm going to bring a couple of very brave souls with me.
Nice. I might be one.
Because, yeah, I believe you're on that list of brave souls.
Yay! I'll take it. Heck yeah. I love being up there, man. It was scary as hell when I first went up there, but then I kind of got used to it after a bit. You know, I was like, all right, I can do this. but it's like this is all by Kev Andrews. So he broke all these down. I mean, you can see right here on the top right where it's showing the rear cranium. There's something behind the female's head. It's in blue there. Around the male's figure's mouth, there's something underneath there as well. And even on the on the bottom one as well. So there's a lot of things here that's hasn't been uncovered yet. And I don't know if it's going to take more mass wasting to do it, or by the time we get some maybe geologists out here or people that can find out what's underneath without disturbing it. You know what I mean? As the way we don't want it to be touched. This was a natural formation that happened through what you call mass wasting. When after a certain amount of time, the rain, the snow, everything just kind of melts little sections off of the mountain.
Carries the particles off.
Carries them down and then starts revealing things underneath. And this is what happens a lot to a lot of mountains and things like that. What else other information can you give us here, Terry? What you think?
Well, I can tell you that this in particular location, from where you're standing at, there's two peaks that are just above this, and from the tops of both of these two big rock, they're like a spear up just above it, to where you'd be able to see this being created. You would also be able to see the entire West Coast Cascade Mountain range from Mount Shasta to Mount Adams without anything hampering it. If you turn and you look the other way, you should be able to see that balloon floating around over Montana right now.
Right.
You should be able to see all of Idaho. You should be able to see northern Utah and northern Nevada. And this in particular location, there's no other spot in the entire West Coast that you have this view.
Right.
You're at 8,000 foot. You're able to see things looking down on them, things that are crossing over the top of the forest. You can see these things.
Right.
So this in particular location is once we're all done, I am 100% sure that there's going to be a lot of people that want to go up here and check out the location. Again, please don't take anything. This is for the whole world. It's been there a lot longer than you or your curiosity. So again, when you go up there, please don't touch it. Take pictures of it. Don't touch it. Don't walk on it. Don't try and move any of it. These things, it took a very long time, over 6,000 years, for them to get to the point where they're this uncovered.
Right.
Okay. And then there's going to be a lot more stuff that becomes uncovered as we do what we're doing. We're going to start notifying things like University of Oregon, so they can come up, and believe me, when the university comes up, I won't be able to go see it anymore.
Right.
They'll block the whole area off. So,
well, the thing is that if you touch any of this stuff, it's against the law to take anything.
It is to pick it up, to put any of this stuff in your pocket and remove it or move it from where it's sitting. It's a federal crime.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that kind of helps us protect it, in a sense, to where, it's, you don't want to think that people will do that, but they will, but we want to make sure that.
And before you know it, you won't have it anymore.
Exactly.
So,
and that's the fear of it.
Down in Blythe, California, they have several geoglyphs that are down there. And if you look very closely at it with satellite imagery, which they're easy to find, you can see where people ripped across them with dune buggies and Jeeps and things like that. Right. And they just didn't care about what they were going across. And these things are just as old as this. They're probably about the same age. I'm not sure which one's older. These right here still have to have we still have to have a couple experts come in and really go over what we've got here. But from what we've got here, I'm gonna say it's a pretty good, solid find, and I'm glad that that I was able to find somebody with the patience that you and your crew had to come up and actually get some good footage of it, and now we're getting better data because of you coming up with a drone, and it's just everything seems to be going the right direction on this in particular find.
Exactly, and it was just it's like I said, godsend, that we got together and we're able to put this whole thing together and make it into this documentary for people to watch, so that way they can see exactly what this is. And you get, of course, from the documentary, you're going to get better footage quality than you're seeing here today.
Right.
We've gotten a lot of praise from it, from the film, but we came
I
out
want to
here.
reiterate, we're a bunch of normal people. We're not doctors. We're not the top scientists of the world. We're the real people out there doing real stuff. I mean, we're doing everything we can to share the things that are actually happening in the world. We're doing our best as real people to share this, and we're not saying that we're that we've been went any kind of institute or university to become what we are. No, what we are is we're the School of Hard Knocks. We're going out there and we're doing this. Um, Regardless of what someone off in the next city over says, that you're not some kind of professional or something like that. No, I'm not. I am a
Right.
citizen. And I say it right here. It says citizen UAP. And that's because I'm doing something that you're afraid to do. And
Right.
if you want to do it, you come out here, you go to the top of those mountains and you film it. And I'll be more than happy to back it up because that's what I do. I back up
Exactly.
I back up people who do ufology and paranormal, and I do my very best to spread the word of their good work too.
Exactly. Yeah, we
You know,
work as a team. We're all work as a team
we
all
do.
together, and ufology is like you were just talking about. It's not in the books to where people say, well, where's your doctor and where's this and where's that, and just kind of think about it this way. When we first started learning about science or about any subject really, before they put it in school, it was somebody out here doing this stuff, right?
That's
And
right.
then and they were actually putting it on there. They're writing all the information down and putting it in numbers and everything like that before it became a curriculum, right? On your actual schooling, right? So they say, well, let's just make this into something that you can have a doctor. And some people say, okay, he knows his stuff, right? He knows his shit,
Yes,
so he knows what he's talking about, right? But
I actually
we
have
are
doctors wanting me to teach them ufology.
exactly, yeah, yeah, and I hope you go over there, to go and at least just take a walk around, and just check it out, man, and just kind of see what they want to learn, because what you have is you have a lot of knowledge of this stuff, and we all do, but and the thing is, like I said, we all work together, and
That's right.
and someday we're gonna put this in a curriculum to where people can say, okay, this is where it started, because all these people, not just you and I, Terry, it's we have
No, I
Chris,
know
we got
that.
Shauna, we got Chris, we got everybody on Ebal, we got a bunch of people, Jody Gore,
So
we have people.
so many
Go ahead.
more years before me and any
Yes.
of these people.
Yes, and we're all in this group called Alien Strand Disclosure Project, and this is something that Terry and I came up with, and he wanted to put this together, and she goes, you know what, we need to do this because this is the beginning of our school. Put it to you this way:
It
if
certainly
you
is.
want if you want to learn ufology, this is Alien Strand Disclosure Project. We are on Facebook as of right now. It's a very private group, but if you're interested, you can click on it and kind of send to see if you guys want to be on it. Now, this is a very serious group and a serious topic that we talk about. We don't put nothing else on but ufology on there, or anything that's new that's happening, or things that we're trying to figure out. We even analyze everything as far as photos, videos on there, because we are all teaching each other as we go.
All ufologists here too. Everybody in this, if you're in here, you're a ufologist.
That's
You are,
right.
or you are learning from a ufologist in the group.
Right.
So
Exactly.
that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah, and we're going to teach you the right way. We're going to teach you the right way, and then how to interact with people, and how to approach people if they're asking about ufology or anything like that. We're going to teach you how to do that too. Because it's not easy telling somebody that you're a ufologist, because they think, some people still kind of think that you're kind of cuckoo. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you're
I mean,
not.
there's so many different ways to do this, and then you end up, you try and show somebody what you've learned and how you've learned it, and before you know it, you got this person telling you that you're nuts and you didn't really
Yeah,
see what you did. Well, no, that's not what this group's about. This group's about being able to share your information, show how you got and came to your conclusion,
right.
and then have your conclusions respected as other people go out and try and use the way you did what you did. And not everybody's going to do it the same way. Not everybody's going to be able to see the craft going by with their eye, but they'll catch it with their camera. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
somebody, not everybody has the exact ability. Some people's eyesight aren't as good. Um,
Exactly.
there's so many different techniques that we'll teach. There's we'll just go through them all when we see you there. That's what we'll do.
Yeah, and if we invite you, if Terry and I invite you to the Alien Strand Disclosure Project, hey, you better jump on board, man, because that's one of the best things that you can do. And let me just give you a quick story. Okay, I'm in a band called COD Band. We're a rock band here in Corpus Christi. I play lead guitar. Well, my drummer, his name's TK Crawford. Like you see him as Carl Crawford on Facebook, but he started sending me pictures, right? So I started breaking them down for him and his wife, and then he said, "Well," I said, "You know what? Let me send you the apps so that way you guys can." And I started teaching them how to see these crafts up in the sky from things that they're watching, right? And then after they saw the documentary, because they hadn't seen my documentary until recently, and then once they saw it, they were like, "Oh my God, this is the stuff we're seeing over here!" So it was like an aha moment or an epiphany in a sense, to where there's like, wait a minute, it's this stuff's real, man. You're not crazy, because now they're into it. You know what I'm saying? So and this is what teaching ufology in a crash course, in a sense, to where when somebody's mind opens up just for that second and says, okay, I'm in. You know what I mean? I'm in. And these are the folks that we love to have. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I'll tell you what. When you get that person and they start questioning it, and then all of a sudden they finally get to see it for the first time, and then they can't unsee it no more. It's over.
Right.
The second they see it, they start seeing it from then on, and from there on, and now they're the crazy one.
Yeah.
And they get to try and figure out how to show everybody else how to do this.
Yeah.
And
he told me exactly. And he told me, he goes, dude, I can't stop looking at the sky now, man. And he goes, I would never look at the sky. Now I can't stop looking at the sky. I'm like,
stop.
I said, you're hooked, brother. You're hooked. Once you see it and you freak out, you're like, okay, I want to figure out more. But
I mean, so I keep so many things so readily available on my bed.
Yeah. Nice. So we have an announcement too. I don't know if you guys are on our Facebook. Some of you guys from YouTube might not be, but we have the middle on 4 platforms. These new ones were going to be coming up soon. So right now it's on Amazon Prime, of course. It's right now. Maybe in about a few weeks it'll be on Hoopla, Rewarded TV, Thrills TV will be in March, and then Tubi TV. Okay, so be looking out for these channels for the middle, where you can see Mr. Terry Lynch's story and everything that we found out there come together. This is really, really good news, and this is all because of you guys are watching the film and spreading the word of how much you guys enjoyed the documentary. And we're not. This is not. I'm gonna just say it like it is, Terry. We're not doing this. It's not a get rich quick thing. We are trying. We did this for disclosure.
We did.
this is disclosure, because it shows, not just shows the geoglyphs, the Cascadia Guides, but it also shows a lot of disclosure on how to see UFOs in the sky. And so you get 2 for 1 on this film, in a sense, because you get to see all that. And it helps because it does take thousands of dollars to make a documentary. Believe me, it does. So, and we want to make sure that we can make the second one, so the more people watch it, we just want to make sure we can get the second one out there. We already got it ready to rock and roll and ready to start filming. I have the people ready to go for the second film. So, just please don't think about it in that sense. We are just spreading this disclosure out there.
Yes, we're not making any money, that's for sure.
Yeah, nah, it's just one of those things that we just wanted to get it out there to you folks. So we're glad that you guys are enjoying it and are just spreading it out to everybody, because that's what it's about. Just everybody working together.
I'm hoping you pay for your fuel. I'm hoping you pay for your time, your fuel, and all that stuff coming out here, the food and hotels, and you guys really did a lot to get out here and get this done. Everybody that was part of this was real proud of doing their part.
Yes.
You really did a good job in bringing out the best in everybody as a director. I got to add that. I mean, I think that you made it possible for everybody to feel comfortable in front of your camera.
Nice.
And we were able to get a better quality of a documentary because of the way you directed things.
Thank you. Yeah, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I just like to be calm. You know what I mean? It's just I like to learn about people, and just kind of find out who they are and stuff. So, just get them as comfortable as possible. And everybody was very comfortable in front of the camera. So, and I'm glad we were able to put that together for everybody. And like I said, we have the next one coming up is going to be called The Middle Part 2, which is CE3. And that's going to have Mr. Terry Linch as well in it. And it's going to have at least 5 more people in there. So, and these are people that have never told their story ever before. It's going to be their first time on camera. So, and they're very nervous about it in a sense because they have never told their story. A couple of them are kind of hard for them to tell. So, but we want people to know, just like Terry said, we are just ordinary people. And that's what these people are. We're ordinary people around the world, around the United States, wanting to get this off our chests, and just get the disclosure out.
I also want to let people know that how I got into this. Once I saw what I had seen, there was no way I couldn't go out and start buying cameras and surveillance type equipment and ways to see things at night and the daytime. There was no way. I had to get my answers. Without the answers, I felt like I probably was going to be a crazy person.
Yeah.
And then I went out and I ran across some of the most wonderful ufologists in the world, and they taught me so much and taught me how to do what I'm doing. And now we're able to share what they taught me to the world. And I want to thank everybody that had been part of that teaching to me again.
Thank you. Yeah, heck yeah. Yep. Those people deserve a lot of credit, and if you wouldn't have went further after you saw it, you would have probably just bought more motorcycles, huh?
I would have. I was eyeballing an Indian.
I knew it.
I was eyeballing an Indian.
It's all good. I'm like that. I'm always chasing cameras and stuff to see, look in the sky, tripods, better stuff. We're always looking for things like that. But
hey, I sold my 100-year anniversary Ultra Classic, and I bought a camera.
Yep. That just tells you the dedication, brother. That's the dedication. But thank you, Terry, for helping us out here today and giving us some insights today on the Cascadia Guides, because these things are very important and they're real. They're real people. They're real folks. It's something that we didn't. It just was uncovered, and we were so glad.
This is ancient.
Yeah, we're glad to be the first ones to document put it in our documentary, and just get it on there. But thank you, Terry, for being on the show today. I know it was a kind of last minute thing. I was yes, no, and then I was like, okay, I'm on. But
I came back. I checked last minute. I checked, and I was like, oh, I told the wife, I gotta go. She says, what's up? I says, well, I'm supposed to be live on Alien Strand podcast right now. She goes, oh, well, get out of here.
Well, that's nice of her.
Go do your thing.
Awesome. Well, tell her I said hello.
I will. All right, I got one more really important thing to say before I'm out of here.
Go ahead.
All right. Hey, everybody, you're watching Alien Strand podcast. This is Terry Linch, ufologist from Oregon Ufology and Research, and you are getting disclosure right now.
Awesome. All right, brother. That's good. I like that. We'll see you in a bit. Appreciate you.
See you later.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that's Mr. Terry Linch. I'm glad he was able to get on the show today. I just wanted to touch base on a couple of these things because I thought it was important for you guys to see what we're up to, and just know what this film was about, and it is about, and the next film upcoming too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up getting all the information we can on the Cascadia Guides, and we're just gonna make one documentary just on the analysis on it, right? And so that way you guys can know that what we filmed up there is real, okay? And it's something that we just didn't make up or something out of a dream or anything. It's real. I saw it for myself. So I just want to thank you guys for being on the show today. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're new to it, ufology, well, welcome to ufology. And remember to catch us on Alien Strand Disclosure Project. Check us out there. I'm going to leave links to this podcast here on YouTube, so you guys can just check out the links for the Cascadia Guides and for the mountain up there in Mexico. You can see everything that's happening over there, even to the live YouTube there on that mountain. So you can kind of take a look at it, every once in a while. But until then, you guys have yourselves a good day. Have yourselves a good evening, and have yourselves good night.